Oh, it's that time. 2024 MLB free agent predictions are finally here. I go through every single free agent available this offseason and tell you what team I think they're going to sign with. Last year, low-key, did really well. I got a ton wrong, but I actually got a lot of them right as well, so I'm hoping to stay hot again this year, especially because my favorite team, the New York Mets, could be making some big moves. A lot of time and effort goes into this, guys, so if you could please drop a like on this video, it really does help support the channel, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on all the off-season content coming at you. Follow me on my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. Without further ado, let's get going into my predictions. Let's get it started with Austin Adams to the Milwaukee Brewers. Irae Adrianza back to the Atlanta Braves. Jesus Aguilar to the San Francisco Giants. Nick Ahmed's gonna go to the St. Louis Cardinals. Weirdly, second year in a row, I got Hanser Alberto going to the Diamondbacks. Scott Alexander to the Washington Nationals. Jorge Alfaro could be a new catcher out in Detroit. Brian Anderson going out west to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Another Anderson out west, Chase goes to the A's. Tim Anderson could be the new shortstop of the Atlanta Braves. The fit just feels too right, and they probably would fix him. Elvis Andrus going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Harrison Bader, Washington Nationals. Jacob Barnes to the Detroit Tigers. Matt Barnes to the New York Yankees. Tucker Barnhart, Washington Nationals. I've got Anthony Bass going to the Houston Astros. There's a good chance Trevor Bauer comes back to the major leagues, and I think it's going to be with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He lives in Arizona. It just makes a lot of sense. Cody Bellinger to the Yankees could be one of the best and biggest contracts given out this offseason. Playing center field, using that short porch and right could be huge. Brandon Belt could be the first baseman of the Brewers. Richard Blyer to the St. Louis Cardinals. Brad Boxberger to the Oakland A's. I think Matt Boyd is going to sign with the Twins. JBJ, I see him going to San Diego. Michael Brantley, don't know why, I got a feeling it's the Dodgers. Ryan Brazier back to the AL East with the Orioles. John Brebbia, Arizona Diamondbacks. Former Diamondback Madison Bumgarner to the Rockies. Cole Calhoun going to the Tampa Bay Rays. Jeimer Candelario could be a sneaky great pickup for the Yankees. I love this move. Victor Caratini to the Los Angeles Angels. Staying in the National League East, Carlos Carrasco signs with the Nationals. Kirk Casale, catcher for the Miami Marlins. Andrew Chafin to the Houston Astros. I think the Cuban Missile Crisis is headed back to Chicago to be setup or closer for the Cubs. Matt Chapman's going to be a big contract, and I think the Giants just makes a lot of sense. Bay Area, and he's really good. He could be great in San Francisco. The crypt keeper that is Jesse Chavez, I mean, will he ever play anywhere else besides the Braves? G-Man Choi feels like he's going to go to the Seattle Mariners. Jose Cisnero could be a really good reliever for the Royals this year. Mike Clevinger, low-key, was really good towards the end of the year, and I think the Reds, with the way that they build pitching, just makes a lot of sense to go there. Garrett Cooper going to the Tampa Bay Rays. I could see Brandon Crawford being a shortstop for the Red Sox. It just kind of feels right. CJ Cron to the Cincinnati Reds, where he's going to crush some home runs. I've also got Johnny Cueto going back to the Cincinnati Reds, where it all started. John Curtis also going to the Reds. That was a pure coincidence, I swear. David Dahl going to the San Diego Padres. Zach Davies, Philadelphia Phillies. Jonathan Davis also to the Phillies. Paul DeYoung, Cleveland Guardians. It feels right. Chris Davinsky going to the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's put Corey Dickerson on the Los Angeles Angels. Why not? Jake Diekman, come to the Mets, please. I'd love to have you. Josh Donaldson going back to the team that drafted him in 2007 with the Chicago Cubs. Hunter Dozier, Southside Chicago with the White Sox. Tyler Duffy to the Washington Nationals. Matt Duffy, north of the border to the Toronto Blue Jays. Adam Duvall to the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he could have a big year. Carl Edwards Jr. to the New York Yankees. Adam Engel back in Chicago with the Cubs this time. Eduardo Escobar to the Washington Nationals. Jerry's Familia, Blue Jays, sure. Buck Farmer also to the Blue Jays. Eric Fedde crushed the KBO. If he comes back, I think it's going to also be with the Diamondbacks. Jack Flaherty feels like he was meant to be a Los Angeles Angel. California kid. Chris Flexen to the Kansas City Royals. Dylan Floro, Tampa Bay Rays. Adam Frazier back to Pittsburgh with the Pirates. Shintaro Fujinami with the San Diego Padres. I could see Michael Fulmer signing with the Texas Rangers. Joey Gallo is going to have a comeback season with the Baltimore Orioles. Feels like a good spot. Ben Gamble to the Houston Astros. Leury Garcia will never not be a Chicago White Sox. Luis Garcia to the Boston Red Sox. Amir Garrett is coming back to Queens with the New York Mets, St. John's alum. Mitch Garver's not going anywhere. The World Series champion is staying put in Texas with the Rangers. Domingo Herman, if he gets signed, maybe with the A's because they need pitching. Kyle Gibson feels like a solid piece for the Tigers to pick up for that rotation. Lucas Giolito to the New York Mets. We need starters. He could be one of them. Michael Givens to the Philadelphia Phillies. Yasmani Grandal going back to the San Diego Padres. Sonny Gray, one of the best free agent pitchers available, is going to go to the Philadelphia Phillies. They're going to need some help. He could be a good arm to grab. Shane Green going back to the Atlanta Braves. We don't know if Zach Greinke's going to play, but if he does, it's surely going to be with the Royals again, right? Randall Grichuk, I think he could go play for the Marlins. That feels okay. Robbie Grossman going to the Kansas City Royals. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. gets a pretty solid contract with the Seattle Mariners. His brother Yuli, though, Colorado Rockies. The best reliever on the market, Josh Hader, is going to the World Series champion Texas Rangers to make that bullpen stronger and that team even scarier. Brad Hand is going to the St. Louis Cardinals. Josh Harrison to the Minnesota Twins. Austin Hedges, Detroit Tigers. Shout out Liam Hendricks. The dude is a dog. He beat cancer. Really rooting for him. I feel like his personality fits perfectly with the city of Philadelphia to be their new closer. Enrique Hernandez back to the Red Sox. Teoscar Hernandez could be the perfect outfield DH bat for the Mets to grab. I really hope he comes to Queens. Jason Hayward keeping it in California with the San Francisco Giants. Jordan Hicks, are we looking at the new closer for the Detroit Tigers? Possibly. Aaron Hicks to the Philadelphia Phillies. Rich Hill to the Los Angeles Angels. Let's add another team to the list. I think Rhys Hoskins goes back to the Bay Area, signs with the San Francisco Giants as their first baseman. Eric Hosmer, Milwaukee Brewers. Daniel Hudson to the Cleveland Guardians. Jose Iglesias, forgot he existed, sending him to Oakland. One of the best Japanese players coming over, Shota Imanaga, is going to be a part of that new Chicago Cubs rotation. Jay Jackson to the Chicago White Sox. World Series champion Travis Jankowski to the Tigers. The biggest player coming over from Korea this offseason is Jung-Hoo Lee, and I think the Giants are going to sign him. Feels like a match made in heaven. He's a really good ball player. Former San Francisco Giant Jake Junis to the Orioles. Brad Keller to the Boston Red Sox. Joe Kelly's not going anywhere. He's staying with the Dodgers. Tony Kemp to the Chicago White Sox. Another year of free agency for Clayton Kershaw. He's going to miss some time, but he's of course going to be a Dodger. I've got Big Dallas going to the Angels. Kevin Kiermaier staying in Toronto with the Blue Jays. Craig Kimbrell could be the new closer of the New York Yankees. Maybe. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to the Detroit Tigers. Corey Kluber to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chad Kuhl to the St. Louis Cardinals. Tommy La Stella, you are a Texas Ranger. And Sandy Leon, you are a New York Yankee. Met legend Dominic Leone going to the Chicago Cubs. Evan Longoria going back to Florida this time with the Marlins. Jorge Lopez to the Chicago White Sox. Reynaldo Lopez going to boost up that bullpen out in Cincinnati with the Reds. Michael Lorenzen looking to bounce back with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Aaron Loop also to the Cincinnati Reds. Seth Lugo looked great as a starter last year, and I think he gets paid by the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm sending Lance Lynn back to Missouri with the Kansas City Royals. Kenta Maeda staying put in Minnesota with the Twins. Tyler Mahle in a bounce-back spot with the Kansas City Royals. Martin Maldonado can't leave the Astros, so he's staying there. Sean Manaea to the city of brotherly love with the Phillies to help that rotation. Trey Mancini, south side of Chicago this time with the White Sox. Jake Marisnick to the Atlanta Braves. JD Martinez is keeping it in LA, but going to the Angels. Nick Martinez, I'm sending you to Colorado. Phil Maton with the Cincinnati Reds. Yuki Matsui coming over from the NPB, signing with the Boston Red Sox. Zach McAllister to the Atlanta Braves. Andrew McCutcheon's got to go back to Pittsburgh. I just can't see it any other way. Colin McHugh to the Baltimore Orioles. Francisco Mejia to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Whit Merrifield feels like a perfect fit for the Detroit Tigers. Keenan Middleton to the St. Louis Cardinals. Wade Miley is going to torture me with the Atlanta Braves. Brad Miller, New York Yankees. Shelby Miller to the San Francisco Giants. Adalberto Mondesi, I think the Braves also take a chance on him. He's a freak athlete. Frankie Montas could be one of the more under-the-radar signings. I'm going with the Astros for him. Jordan Montgomery's not going anywhere. Staying put with the Rangers, World Series champions. Matt Moore to the Boston Red Sox. Mike Moustakas to the Oakland A's. Tom Murphy's not leaving. He's staying with the Mariners. Will Myers, Bay Area with the San Francisco Giants. Tyler Naquin to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hector Neris gets the chance to be a closer again, this time with the Nationals. Kevin Newman to the Oakland A's. Big move. One of the best pitchers available on the free agent market, Aaron Nola. Everybody wants him, but I think the Cardinals end up getting him and paying him big time. Rougned Odor to the Colorado Rockies. Jake Odorizzi, Baltimore Orioles. The most talented player Major League Baseball has ever seen, Shohei Ohtani, is obviously going to sign with the Dodgers. It's between the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Cubs, and I just think the Dodgers are going to offer the most. They're the best team, and he's going to go there. Adam Ottavino to the Baltimore Orioles. I've got Emilio Pagan going to the Cleveland Guardians. James Paxton to the Chicago White Sox. Run it back, Jock Peterson back to the Dodgers. David Peralta out west to the Colorado Rockies. Wandy Peralta is staying in division. I think the Red Sox sign him. Martin Perez north of the border to the Toronto Blue Jays for some depth. I've got Roberto Perez going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The legend Tommy Pham going to Cleveland. Kevin Pillar to the Milwaukee Brewers. Manny Pena to the Tampa Bay Rays if he even plays. AJ Pollock's going back to AZ with the Diamondbacks. Jurickson Profar to the Kansas City Royals. Erasmo Ramirez to the Giants. Hunter Renfroe, Kansas City Royals. Alex Reyes to the Detroit Tigers. Give him a shot. The Franimal going out west to the Los Angeles Angels. I think the Mets bring back David Robertson. He wants to be here. He talked about it. Let's bring him back. Eduardo Rodriguez also going back to Boston with the Red Sox. This just makes a lot of sense. Joely Rodriguez going to the Seattle Mariners. Cuban defector from the MPB, Yariel Rodriguez with the Chicago White Sox. Eddie Rosario back with the Braves. Ahmed Rosario in that new swing going to the Miami Marlins. KBO standout Drew Rucinski to the Milwaukee Brewers. Darren Ruff to the Cleveland Guardians. Hyun-Jin Ryu, I could see him with the New York Yankees. Gary Sanchez could be that new catcher out in Chicago with the White Sox. Carlos Santana on-base machine, send him to the A's. Jonathan Scope, Seattle Mariners. Gene Segura with the Baltimore Orioles. Luis Severino leaves the Yankees and goes to the Brewers. Brian Shaw to the Philadelphia Phillies. Chazen Shreve out west with the Giants. I think the World Series streak might end with Will Smith here in Colorado with the Rockies. Blake Snell, arguably the best pitcher available. I see the Cubs spending a lot of money this offseason, and I think the big move is going to be Blake Snell, making him the ace of that staff alongside Justin Steele for what could be a very good Cubs team now with Craig Counsell. Donovan Solano back to the Miami Marlins. Jorge Soler in that Blue Jays lineup. Yup, I like that a lot. Ryan Stanek to the Texas Rangers, keeping it in Texas. Robert Stevenson, I want the Mets to get him, so I put him there. I don't know if they will, but he's sick. Chris Stratton to the San Diego Padres. There should be a ton of teams interested in Marcus Stroman, but ultimately I think he goes to the Twins. Brent Suter to the Cleveland Guardians. Oh, Thor, he's fallen off quite a bit. Got him going to the Marlins. The electric factory that is Raimel Tapia going to the Minnesota Twins. Joining him will be Michael A. Taylor, who's going back, playing center field, doing his thing. Julio Teheran to the Miami Marlins. Ryan Tepera to the Kansas City Royals. Justin Turner to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm going to give him everybody. I think they're going to be big. Jose Urena to the Cleveland Guardians. This is a weird one, but I think Giovanni Urshela could be a New York Met, so I'm going with it. Vince Velasquez to the Texas Rangers. Drew Verhagen to the Detroit Tigers. Luke Voit to the Philadelphia Phillies. Unbutton those buttons like Nick Castellanos. Joey Votto. I mean, I got to send him home to Toronto, right? Michael Wacha to the Atlanta Braves. Luke Weaver to the Washington Nationals. Joey Wendell, Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm just taking a lot of shots with them. Justin Wilson, Chicago White Sox. Mets bring Jesse Winker to New York. He's been a villain here. Make him a friend now. Nick Wickring to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Colton Wong back to the Cardinals. Alex Wood to the Chicago Cubs. The biggest free agent pitcher available coming over from the MPB, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, has to be a New York Met. We need starting pitching desperately bad, and I don't think anybody is going to offer any more money than the Mets possibly can. So Yamamoto, you are a Met. And last but certainly not least, Mike Zunino to the Cincinnati Reds. Whew. So there they are. I think there's like 230 free agent players available this offseason. I'd love to know what you guys think about my predictions down in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video. It really does help support the channel, as well as subscribing so you don't miss out on the content coming at you. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in description. I know it's been a minute. I know this season has been super weird with my uploads, but I'm back. I'm motivated, and maybe one day we'll find out exactly why there was such a lack of uploads. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you soon for another video. Bye.